Hello and welcome to day 2 of our riding in Scotland. It's super sunny, as you can see. Once again, actually really hot. It's supposed to be like 20 degrees today, and we're further north than we were yesterday. We are checking out a place called Glassie bike park. So I've decided today I'm going to use this bike rather than the e-bike. Jim's on his e-bike though with the battery extender, so I'll get him to tow me if I get tired. And it is beautiful round here. All the houses are set like this, like really far back, massive, and it's actually quite close to a little town, although you wouldn't think it because it looks like you're way out, but we're not as far out from civilization as you would think here. Go.
Okay, so there's a little parking place right at the top of a fire road, but not advisable in the big camper. So you just have to sort of find out where you can park. So it's not an official bike park. Well, I say not official, it's not a bike park, you know, like Duffy Bike Park or Bike Park Wales.
Regretting pedaling this one and not the e-bike. I'm riding the rail not because I want to do some sort of pedally crusade, it's because I want to ride this bike down the hill, but it is so hot, and so far the climb has not had any shade in it. I'm absolutely sweating. Luckily I've got the Winch and Plummet short sleeve on, but it's still jersey material, which means it's a lot hotter in the t-shirt, and I am sweating. Made it to the top. It is so hot, I am sweating. Jim doesn't care because he's on the e-bike, and we're going to go down this trail here, which is kind of blue and then goes into the blue that we're going to start on, which sounds like a good plan because we saw some other people and they said the trail that we had looked at wouldn't be a good one to start on because it was a bit gnarly. I'm going to go let Jim go a little bit ahead so that I don't get caught into wanting to follow his pace. Different bike to yesterday, and also it's really dry, so I don't go too fast and go flying off anywhere. Quite nice jumps actually. Just want to warm my ankle up though. This bike feels so totally different. So there's basically 2 blues then?
Yeah, let's go.
Turn the gears up a bit. Oh, so dusty. Slow down, slow down. Too much. Oh. Ow. Trying to find the smoothest line. So on the toe for the second one. Good. Well, probably a bit of fatigue from yesterday too, but this is a long climb. It took us 25 minutes at my pace to get up there, and it's super hot. So I'm going to do 2 runs towing, and then I'm going to go and get the e-bike out and use that. A bit disappointed with the first run, to be fair. It was the first run, so I was probably going a bit too fast on that rocky bit, because I can ride that pace in terms of like skill and pace, but the ankle wasn't ready, so yeah, I'll just be a bit more careful next time I think, and see as we go, as the day progresses. Well, considering I was on the tow rope, that did not feel very easy at all. Anyway, time for round 2, but slightly different trails. First one we did was Purple Haze. Now we're going to do a different blue trail on the other side, so let's see how that goes. Right, yep, ready. Okay. Better gear this time. Whoa. The grip's a little bit hit and miss here. So dusty. Okay, a bit more cautious on the little jumper bit, because then I won't accidentally like pop my ankle, and it will probably feel better when it gets to the more rough bits, because I won't have already like half blown it out. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see. So this is definitely more bike parky. I think I preferred the other one. Almost didn't make a decision there and ended up doing half of one thing and half of the other. Okay, I think I may have ended up on a different trail. I think I ended up on a different trail.
Because it's hard to know what's coming up, isn't it? And then you see a lip and you like don't know what's the other side.
So I've given in. I'm going to go and get my e-bike because I feel like I'm riding like a pansy on this anyway. So if I'm going to ride like a pansy, I might as well ride my e-bike because it makes everything easier. Whereas if I was like really enjoying sending jumps and stuff like that, I'd want to be on this one because this one's better. But I don't think today I've got that mentality to blindly just fly off things. So I might as well save my legs and save Jim's battery and try this bike another day. So bike changed and let's head back up the hill again. First climb at the top with the e-bike done. We're going to go and look down this trail that isn't marked on anything actually. Jim's just gone down first, said there's a tree down, so he's going to carry on and have a look and we're going to roll in after. Oh, interesting. I thought he just meant it was down, not that I had to actually get through all of this. Ow. Right, the GoPro had a little issue as well. It froze after I paused it. It's never happened before. I've had it not like turn on, but I've never had it turn on and then be frozen at the point that I went to turn it off. So weird. I imagine, not so long ago, this was full with water. Not entirely sure where this oh, right. There? Is it supposed to go off there? Annoyingly, I have reopened the cut on my arm from the other weekend, but it has stopped bleeding now at least. We're going to go and look at a jumpy sort of trail next. We are going to go and do the blue, but I think it'll probably just ride that tide as well and crash, so we might as well go and do something more challenging. Let's go. So apparently they're all nice and roller friendly, which is what we like with ankles. That gap would have been alright actually. But again, just not knowing the trail. Well, there's certainly more grip on that than there was that other trail. And I am going to back up something that I was thinking, and kind of something that Jim said as well, which is it's when it's really dry and hard that you realise the difference in suspension. And I'd agree, because this bike feels a hell of a lot better. I just figured out what the problem is. It's because there's no progression. So Rogate, for example, had lots of really good progression, and where I've heard about like Twisted Oaks bike park and stuff like that, which I really want to go to. So actually, if you want to ride with me there, let me know. So there, it's progressive, so you can start on a nice easy trail and build up gradually. Here, because it's all like local made or whatever, they're obviously already really good. So there's a couple of little trails that you can ride, and then you jump from like what I was doing there, cautiously obviously, to like ones that are massive, and although they're really well made and they're pretty safe when you're stood still looking at them, the second you start actually rolling down it, your brain starts going, it's not as safe as what it appeared to be when you looked at it, and it puts you off completely, and you can't really go back and build up to it because you've got something that's so much easier, and then something that's got a sort of 6 foot high berm. And I think for me, that's what the problem is. So we're heading over to a place called Top of the World. Acquired some trail dogs on the way. So we've both said that we didn't massively enjoy that last one. It was a bit too bike parky for us. And I do like jumps, and I want to get better at jumps and bits and pieces like that. Like I really enjoyed Rogates and the lines there, but this was like the trails were so well made, just the berms were really big, and it was, I think what puts me off is that I know when I'm on like techie steep stuff, if I'm worried, I just let go of the brakes and let it roll, the bike goes. Whereas like I haven't quite grasped what you do on the bike park stuff, because the amount of times that I've got into a big bike park berm, been scared brakes washed out, that's happened. Then you don't brake, you just end up going over the edge of the berm, so it's like a ramp, and I've done that too. So I'm not really sure how to approach it, and I think that's part of the problem. So I guess I need to work on it. Look at that. Like, this is massive. When they said Glassie bike park, they really did make a proper bike park here. So that is like amazing, but these things are just too big for me, and I don't know if I'm ever going to want to do stuff like that. But though, look at this. We're going to stay here tonight and then drive to Lagan tomorrow morning because it's so nice. And there's the guy on Trail Forks again. Wow. I was going to film when I got to the top, but I just want to show you what it looks like. Clearly, I'm not going up here to ride down this myself, but I am going to go to the top so that I can see what the perspective looks like from up there. So we're presuming, we can't get a name on Trail Forks once again, that this is top of the world, because it literally does look like the top of the world, and you're about to go down to the very bottom of it. I am though going to roll down through this because I want to see and show you guys the perspective of how big they are when you're coming down here. Oh. Just so that you can have a little look with me. Bloody shoelace. There's been like multiple things today that have tried to kill me, and my shoelaces have been one of them. Woo! Did that jump cool. Roll down through this. You can see how many people have done this as well, because it's like a clip. What even is that? Just the size of the approach of these things. Wow, look at it. Massive. And it's like pretty much vertical. And then see it from the other side, it's just huge, but really well ridden. So people are on this a lot. We're following someone. Jim's just seen him go down, so we're going to quickly go and see where he's going, because maybe that will take us to the end of the World Trail. There is another one that we looked at on YouTube, but we don't think that's the end of the World Trail.
Rock, half a mile. We went up.
There we think we might have found the top of the world. In fact, it's been confirmed. We found it totally by accident because it wasn't on Trailhawk. So we're going to go and ride that now. It's going to take us quite a long way out, and it's supposed to be a really long trail. So that's cool. I'm going to take it nice and steady. I'm feeling pretty fatigued. And, well, I just had to have a little word with myself, really. So I was feeling on a pretty downer. Because the other weekend, I came second at the first round of the NES, totally by accident. Only went there to test my ankle. And I felt like I rode really well. Then we've come here, and I felt on the back foot on everything that we have ridden. Although, I have to say, I have definitely ridden stuff a lot better than what I would have done in the past. Absolutely, hands down. And the stuff that I did get off at, you know, like really was quite lethal stuff, and some of the hardest stuff in the area we were riding. So, you know, it's not like I got off on things I would have done previously, but it's really reminded me that I want to be a lot better. And it is just frustrating me that I have a much quicker limit than I would normally, and I keep telling myself, oh yeah, it'll be better when your ankle's better, when your ankle's better. But then you have that little voice in your head and goes, well, what if it isn't? What if it's just you? And so I'm really fighting with that today, to try and keep that like positivity, and also remember how far I've come, and the fact that, yeah, I didn't enjoy riding the rayon, like that very first couple of trails I did, because it hurt. But the reason why I think it hurt was because I was flying down behind Jim, and that was at quite a fast pace, and that was above the pace that I've ridden recently, because before I got that rail, you know, I wouldn't really see Jim ahead of me unless he was being slower for me, whereas he was just riding and he was in my sights until I decided to pull back from my ankle. So that's a massive positive, and I need to remember that. But it is just little things like that you got to remind yourself of when you're going, oh yeah, but, and this, I mean, like, I'm riding this blind now, and I'm comfortable enough that I'm able to talk to you, because I can think and ride totally blind, not done it before. Yes, I'm doing a slower speed than normal because of my ankle, but I still don't know where I'm going, and I'm still having to trust my capabilities that if I hit something blind, I'll be able to ride it out. And that's knowing that I've got a bit of a left side handicap at the moment, so it's not all bad. And I am looking forward to getting the new Orbea Wild, because I've had it from Jim and now Todd, because Todd's one's turned up, of how amazing that bike is. So I am really looking forward to it, and I know I'm gonna be back in love with the Rayon once I've changed the suspension. This has really shown me this weekend that it does, for this kind of real rough stuff, which is more of the stuff that I'm going to be riding over the summer and to come, I'm going to need that bit more adjustable suspension, especially when I'm easing my ankle back into life over the next few months. Whereas a lot of the stuff that I've been doing at home, it's smoother, and so therefore probably, you know, I'm not noticing it as much. Whereas here, I'm really finding out, I'm feeling it on the lots of little fast bumpy bits in a way that I'm not feeling on the e-bike because of the factory suspension. However, you rewind a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't ride the e-bike even with the factory suspension because the bike was heavy. My ankle couldn't control the back of the bike when I was riding. So yeah, I mean, it's been a real process of recovery on an injury I didn't think was as bad as it was. So I have to be pretty pleased with myself. This trail definitely is long, like the guy said. Nice though, amazing. I'd come up and ride it again. Right, I need to concentrate a bit here because it probably goes off somewhere and it might not be obvious. Ooh, ow. Jim will be going.
The same as me. Take it all back. This place is wicked.
Yeah.
I wish we'd have just gone and ridden all these when we started at the top. I bet there's a few of them. Well, there's 15 trails, so.
Well, there is, because there's that other one we saw on the fire road.
Carry on?
Yeah.
Have it.
Okay. A little stop there as it splits. Oh, that's nice. We've got a good little stone to do for the next bit down here until it decides to pop itself out. Jim was saying how this is like alpine trails, and it really is. I was trying to explain to him that, like, Morzine obviously has all of its bike parks and Chattel's bike park, but that there's tons of this kind of stuff in the area in the Port de Soleil if you know where to look. So I might be able to get him out. Look at this little gem after we stopped and had something to eat at the bottom. Yeah, just spoke to a local man. Apparently the weather's not like this all the time, so he thanked us for bringing it with us. I have decided to call it a day. Back at the motorhome, back at the bike. Well, we came right to the bottom. That trail was really good. Really tempted to do it again, but I've had a bit of, like, I take a lot of vitamin C and echinacea and stuff like that. Sometimes when you're on the edge of a virus, it kind of keeps it enough, or it feels like it kind of keeps it enough at bay and never lets it completely come out, but you still get some of it. So I've got like glands come up in my throat and like in my groin, which is like really painful. And I want to ride tomorrow, so I've had a debate whilst we've pedalled along here, back along the road to the motorhome, and decided that I'm going to stay here and sort the van out whilst Jim does the other climb, because obviously it's on the e-bike, so the climb itself is pretty easy, but it's going to be another good like 20 minutes plus to the top and then a really long trail down. And actually, is it worth it today when tomorrow we're going to Lagan, which is where I did the BNES round last year and I really enjoyed it and wanted to go back. So I kind of want to save what remains of my energy for that tomorrow, really. So I've done the sensible thing and stayed back. So I guess it is time to say thank you very much for watching this video. And if you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell and let me know what you thought, what more places you'd like to see. We're on little tours around the country on various different weekends, so potentially if you've got a really good riding spot somewhere, let me know and then perhaps we'll come and visit and you can show us around. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you at the next one.